Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside WB Mason Stadium here on the campus of Stonehill College in Easton, Massachusetts, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call. We have brought our Milford TV coverage on the road for this final week of the football season before the playoff seedings are determined. A big game for your Milford Scarlet Hawks here tonight as they take the field, getting set to take on the Stoughton Black Knights, a good rivalry within the Davenport division of the Hockomock League. Milford comes into the contest tonight at 2-4 overall on the season. They are in a tie for third place with this very Stoughton team they're about to take on tonight. Stoughton overall on the season at 3-3, but both teams at 500 against league opponents. And so in a virtual tie for that third place position in the Davenport division standings. And so an important week here as we get to week 7 of this high school football season, the final regular season game before the playoff seedings are determined. And for Milford, 2 weeks ago it seemed as if playoffs were a pipe dream, but they have managed to turn things around over the last 2 weeks. Impressive victories, first at home on homecoming night against the Sharon Eagles. That was the last game we were able to bring to you here on Milford TV. Milford with a 42-7 victory over Sharon. They then took to the road last week to take on a big rival in Foxborough, and they were able to drop 42 points for the second straight week, a 42-28 win against Foxborough last week. More impressive play at the quarterback position for Colby Perez, who has essentially thrown for 300 yards in each of his last 2 games, thrown for multiple touchdowns. He also ran for a score last week, so he has really put this team on his back. His skill position players have rounded into form behind him, and so this offense has all of a sudden become a force to be reckoned with, and hoping to keep that going today against a Stoughton defense that has typically played Milford tough over the years. Milford has not won a game against Stoughton in recent memory, and so hoping to put a change to that today. Stoughton, meanwhile, as we mentioned, comes in 3-3 overall on the season. It's been a strange year for the Black Knights. They were able to open up the season with a 43-22 blowout win against Framingham, but since then, they've had their struggles. They ended up taking a 20-7 loss against Catholic Memorial. They also lost to Foxborough in week 3 in a 16-13 final score. They were able to just barely eke out a victory against Sharon on the road, a 12-6 victory before losing to Canton, and then most recently they were able to earn a hard-fought victory against North Attleboro by a final score of 21-10. So some wins against some good teams and some losses against some struggling teams in the Hockomock League this season. So tough to handicap the kind of game that this is going to be tonight between these two teams. But as we mentioned, historically this has been a matchup that has gone in Stoughton's favor. They have won each of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, and that of course included 2 seasons ago a win against Milford in the final game of the regular season before the playoffs. The two teams then turned around and met in round 1 of the Division III playoffs, and Stoughton was able to earn shutout victories in both of those games. It was a much closer contest when these two teams met in Milford last year. There ended up being a costly turnover in the special teams unit for Milford at the end of the first half that resulted in the first score of the game. Stoughton was able to take a 7-0 lead into the half, and ultimately they were able to win the game by a final of 14-3, so a low-scoring game. And a lot of low-scoring games on the season for Stoughton. Milford, of course, had a lot of low scores early on in the season, but the offense has come to life over the last 2 weeks. Can they keep that going here today? They really need a victory in order to solidify a spot in the MIAA tournament. Stoughton looks to be right on the verge of a playoff berth themselves, so an important game on both sides here tonight, and excited to bring it to you again on the beautiful campus of Stonehill College. We're just minutes away from kickoff, so we will step aside very quickly, and when we come back, we will have the kickoff between the Milford Scarlet Hawks and the Stoughton Black Knights right here on Milford TV.
Lining up in the backfield.
And we welcome you right back inside WB Mason Stadium here at Stonehill College. Time to get this Davenport division rivalry started. Milford will kick off to start this game. We have seen them receive the opening kick in just about every game so far on the season, but Sean Lehane prepared to kick the ball away. It is Jeff Greer lined up deep just outside the end zone. This ball will drift back towards the goal line, and with a foot in the end zone, Greer will take it out. Now crosses the 15-yard line and is able to spill across the 25, and down it looks to be at the 26-yard line.
Lehane's boot.
And so Greer was able to get a nice boost up the middle.
Bringing Greer down.
And so right at the 26-yard line is where the Stoughton Black Knights offense will begin.
They're going to have their first possession starting here on the 26-yard line. It's a 1st and 10. John Burke back in the corner.
It has been John Burke who has done the bulk of the duties under center for Stoughton this season, a sophomore, taking over for Evan Gibb, who was, I believe, a 3-year starter for the Black Knights. They run the ball on first down and nowhere to go for Alex Iverson, a senior, who gets dropped down for the loss. And no, they will say he was able to make it just barely back to the line of scrimmage. So they give him the forward progress, but no gain officially. And it will be 2nd down and 10 now. An absolutely beautiful field here at Stonehill College. Very happy to be able to be bringing you this game on the road. Burke under center. Man in motion will get the football. That is number 40, Malachi Green Hightower. And as per usual, it is a dangerous and diverse offensive attack in terms of the running game for Stoughton. They've got a number of different backs who have had a lot of success so far on the season. Jeff Greer has been their most dangerous running back, but Green Hightower, Chris Ace, and Alex Iverson have all scored touchdowns on the season, have all been elusive out of the backfield. The Stoughton program has always been the epitome of ground and pound, but right now in a 3rd and 8 situation. And so this will send Burke into the shotgun. Does have a running back to his right, drops back to throw, flushed out of the pocket now, in some trouble, and this ball is going to be intercepted by the Scarlet Hawks. It is Chappelle Feaster.
John Burke looking for a pass there.
And so credit Herrick Lewis, who I believe was able to get into the backfield. He flushed Burke, ended up sending the throw off his back foot and right into the waiting arms of Chappelle Feaster, who has been so dynamic offensively for the Scarlet Hawks this season, makes a huge play defensively, and this immediately opens the door for Milford as their offense will come out onto the field with the ball spotted on the Stoughton 33. So a golden opportunity for Colby Perez, who comes into Week 7 leading the Hockomock League in touchdown passes with 12. He's in the shotgun formation, has Luke Rosa in the backfield. Rosa totaled 92 yards on the ground last week with 2 scores. Perez takes the snap, drops back to throw, has time in the pocket, looking quickly for the end zone, looking for Hugo Lopes, and almost an interception on the Stoughton side. And Perez forcing that into triple coverage and almost paid the price.
No, the intended receiver was Hugo Lopes.
So it will be 2nd down and 10.
Anthony Pisano will walk it back, and it's 2nd and 10.
Anthony Pisano on the coverage for Stoughton. And so now Milford will go to the ground in some space.
Number 33, Lucas Rosa.
Luke Rosa able to bring the ball across the 30-yard line down to the 28 to bring up
him up 5. And
a 3rd down and 5. Still in the opening minutes of this first quarter, 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Scoreless, but Milford threatening after the Chappelle Feaster interception. Out of the shotgun once again for Perez. He puts Lopes in motion, fakes the handoff, now gives to Rosa, and Rosa ends up slipping up just shy of the 25-yard line. He's going to be shy of the 1st down, so will we see Milford go for it here, or will we see a field goal try? Lehane looks like he might be lining up for the field goal try.
3 for the Hawks. Black Knights defense doing
and Milford will huddle it up here. And believe it or not, Sean Lehane has not converted a successful field goal try on the season. But it's been a different type of year for Sean Lehane, as he has been contributing heavily at the wide receiver position. He has 4 touchdown receptions in the last 3 weeks. It will not be a field goal try here, however, as Milford breaks out of the huddle, and they will look to throw here on 4th down, and it's an easy completion to Brendan White, who did not look it into the hands, and the ball falls to the turf, and it will be a turnover on downs.
White was wide open, but he couldn't hold on to the football.
White didn't have a defender within 5 yards in any direction, but got a little too far ahead of himself, started to look upfield, and did not look that ball into his hands securely, and a big-time squander for the Scarlet Hawks here in the first quarter. Gifted beautiful field position after the interception. And instead, Stoughton's offense will come right back out onto the field And they'll start their second drive from their own 21-yard line. And the handoff goes to Green Hightower, who is caught up in the backfield trying to get free, but he is eventually brought down by a mob of tacklers.
Trying to find a way through.
And it looks like he will be brought down for a loss of a yard.
Taken down on the 25. Be a loss of 1.
So 2nd down and 11 coming up for the Black Knights. It's been virtually all rushing scores for Stoughton on the year. They do have 3 touchdown passes. And the toss back goes to Jeff Greer, who is able to make his way across the 30-yard line. They'll mark him down just outside the 31-yard line to set up 3rd down. They'll call it 3rd down and 5 with 6 minutes and 37 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So Milford looking for another big play on 3rd down.
Bring it up to a 3rd and 5 here.
So on 3rd down and 5. Man in motion. The give ends up going to Greer, and Greer stopped well short of the yard to gain.
AI with the carry, Iverson.
And so 4th down and looks to be a long 3
That's going to be
or 4.
4.
They'll call it 4th down and 4. Stoughton huddles it up, but Milford expecting the punt as Chappelle Feaster drops back just outside his own 40-yard line.
Lining up for the punt.
And the kick booted away by Josh Kochi, and Chappelle Feaster will let it bounce. It hits off the hands of Christian Ace. Back in coverage for Stoughton. So a much longer field for Milford this time around, with it still scoreless here in the first quarter. Again, Milford looking to break out of an extended losing streak against the Black Knights, and you couldn't have asked for a better start to this game for Milford than the interception in the short field. But Brendan White, a costly drop. White did have a drop early in the game against Foxborough last week, but was able to atone for that with some very good defensive play, and he also caught a couple of touchdown passes as that game went along. Perez looking to throw on 1st down, able to hang in the pocket, and that pass incomplete as Perez targeted Carter Scudo.
The pass goes incomplete.
Scudo, a sophomore, and on the depth chart at the quarterback position, but out in a pass pattern there on 1st down, could not make the catch. And it will be 2nd down and 10. Perez clapping the hands. He has Lucas Rosa to his left. Takes a look out to Lahane, who's lined up wide on the near side. And instead now Perez goes to the far side where the catch is made by Brendan White. A flag comes in as White cuts across the 40-yard line. Looks to have the 1st down yardage, but we'll see what the flag is for.
Flag on the play.
So it's going to go against the Scarlet Hawks.
Penalty goes against Milford.
And so this will push Milford back
5 yards.
5 yards, so to the 24-yard line.
4-yard line. It's 3rd down and 15.
I believe the call was for an ineligible receiver downfield.
Of 2nd down.
And we'll have another whistle here before the next snap for the Scarlet Hawks, which will be on. Right now the scoreboard reads third down and 15. The field marker said second down. They now adjust it to second down as the pass is dropped right into the waiting hands of Sean Lehane, who's able to accelerate to the 45-yard line before he was brought down.
And that'll get him the first down.
By Jeff Greer. And so Milford will move the chains here as they're able to get out to the 44.
Hawks on their own 44.
Lehane has showed some impressive quickness in the passing game. Now Pires steps up through the rush on first down, will try to direct traffic, and now he'll just gain all the yards he can before he makes his way out of bounds. And a flag comes in right at the end of the play.
To the football, he was looking for a pass, not finding it. Finds an open lane.
And some applause on the Milford sideline. Not sure if Pires took a late hit as he went out of bounds. So the personal foul penalty going against the Stoughton Black Knights.
Personal foul on Stoughton. They're going to walk it up 15 yards.
So you can tack 15 yards onto the end of the play. So this will set up Milford once again deep inside Black Knights territory. So again, a very different feel to the start of this game so far than what we have seen in recent memory between these two teams. Milford looks to have all the momentum, but they have yet to put it in the end zone. Now on first down, a quick throw into the flat by Pires.
Pires connects with number 33,
and so Luke Rosa taking that quick pass and was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe a gain of 1. They'll give him a yard. They'll mark him down at the 35-yard line, where it will be second down and 9 as the clock now ticks down to 3:55 to go in the first quarter. Still looking for our first points.
Excited to present that to you.
Again from the shotgun, Chappelle Feaster in motion. They fake the handoff. Now they give to Rosa straight up the middle. And Rosa ran full speed into a defender. Was able to get a couple more, but it'll be a third down and long coming up for the Scarlet Hawks.
Two more, and it's going to be 3rd and 7.
Chilly conditions here in Easton for the game.
Black Knights 32.
Not quite as cold as some of the weather we experienced earlier in the week. Temperature hovering around the 50s when we first got to the field. Now on third down, quick penetration into the backfield, and Pires has to just release a quick throw towards the sideline.
Pires looking for a pass under duress.
Man getting untouched into the backfield.
To get it off, but it's incomplete.
That looked to be Evan Jackman, number 54, linebacker for the Black Knights, and that will set up another fourth down.
Pires coming back from a meeting with a coach, and
ball spotted on the 33-yard line, and meanwhile timeout is called for. I believe it was taken by the Stoughton Black Knights, so we will take the timeout as well. 3 minutes and 1 second to go here in the first quarter. A scoreless contest so far, and a fourth down play coming up for the Scarlet Hawks when we return next here on Milford TV.
The award-winning marching band. They're going for it on 4th.
Once again, Milford chooses to keep their offense on the field on fourth down, this time 4th and 7, as Pires forced to roll to his left, looks for Feaster, has the completion at the 20-yard line. A first down for the Scarlet Hawks as Feaster's finally brought down at the 16-yard line.
Flag down.
And there is a flag back at the original line of scrimmage. It's a holding call against the Scarlet Hawks. And so this is going to negate
that penalty goes against the Hawks. The call is
a big fourth down conversion between Pires and Feaster. And so this will push Milford back 10 yards, and now we will likely see a punt from Lehane. And so once again, Milford gets into Stoughton territory, but cannot deliver any points.
That's going to bring out the punt team. That'll be Sean Lehane lining up for the punt.
So Milford will look to play the field position battle now as Lehane is out for the kick. Jeff Greer lined up to receive the kick, which drifts towards the far sideline and kicks out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So a long field for John Burke.
correctly. That'd be on the 10.
Assuming there may be a familial tie between John Burke and the head coach of the Stoughton Black Knights program, Greg Burke. Very good coach within the Hockomock League. The Stoughton program has always been a perennial playoff contender. And so the third possession now for Stoughton here in the first quarter will start from their own 10, and the handoff goes to Greer on first down, and a great tackle made in the backfield by Brendan White. He was able to fly in to make the play for a loss for Stoughton. This will push them back to their own 8.
Back to the 7, and it's going to be 2nd and 13.
They mark him down instead at the 7, so a 3-yard loss. Tremendous defensive play off the end for Brendan White. Trying to atone for that 4th down drop he had on Milford's first offensive series. 2nd down and 13 now with the first quarter clock under 2 minutes. Work from the shotgun. Pass completed. A quick dump off to Jean Roux, who proves tough for Milford to bring down. He's able to get out. Looks like they'll mark him down at the 16.
Jean gets a couple of yards there.
And so that will set up a 3rd down and very manageable now for the Black Knights, and will also give John Burke a little more room to work with. It'll be a 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Black Knights. Burke under center. And gives it straight up the middle, now trying to bounce to the far sideline, and a very nice job. There's Carter Scudo again now on the defensive side of the ball. Able to wrestle the back down. That was Christopher Ace, who was trying to break free to the far sideline, but he gets taken down for a loss, and that will set up 4th down and likely another punt now for the Black Knights with just 30 seconds left in the first quarter. These two teams played a scoreless first half right up until the final seconds last season, where again it was a fumble on special teams that gave Stoughton a late possession, and ultimately they were able to cash that in for a touchdown to take a 7-0 lead. It was a 7-3 score deep into the 4th quarter before Stoughton was able to tack on one final score to win the game 14-3.
Bring it back to the 9.
After the additional penalty yards are added on, Stoughton will have to send this punt away from inside their own end zone. They had to rush it as Milford was getting back there in a hurry, and Chappelle Feaster lets that ball bounce past. It will roll to a stop just to the Milford side of the 50-yard line, so the Scarlet Hawks will begin from their own 49.
Here in the first quarter, the Hawks will take possession right around the midfield.
And they will start this drive with just 6 ticks of the clock left here in the first quarter.
There we go. 1st and 10 on the 49 for the Hawks.
So the offense ready to go. A couple of receivers lined up to the near side. And instead it will be a handoff to Rosa, who will cut across onto the Stoughton side of the field, and that will be the final play of this first quarter. So again, virtually all Milford in this first 11 minutes. Not much traction for the Stoughton offense. However, their defense has been able to bail them out of some tricky situations. And so still scoreless here between Milford and the Stoughton Black Knights. We'll flip the field and we'll be back for quarter number 2 right after this here on Milford TV.
Here on the Black Knights, 48-yard line.
2nd down and 8 for the Scarlet Hawks as we begin second quarter action here from the campus of Stonehill College in Easton. A quick throw to Brendan White in the flat on second down, and White is brought down
Brendan White getting
at the 44.
Pass from Pierce.
They'll spot that ball just shy of the 44-yard line, setting up 3rd down and 4.
The ball just shy of the 45, just under the 45. It's going to be 3rd and 4 here for the Hawks.
Brendan White now lines up to the near sideline. That's where Colby Perez aims this throw. The pass complete. And it is good for a 1st down for the Scarlet Hawks. This time sure hands for White, making a couple of grabs on this drive, and Milford will move the chains once again.
The 1st down. Milford will pick it up here, 1st and 10 on the Black Knights.
Chappelle Feaster with an interception on the opening drive of the game. Milford a couple of opportunities to get close to the goal line on that first drive, but ended up turning it over on downs. We'll see if they can finally break through here on this possession as Perez is able to escape some trouble. A flag comes in right at the line as the pass from Perez is incomplete.
Flag there, holding against.
And the call is a hold against the Scarlet Hawks. So Milford not helping themselves out in terms of penalties here in this first half. Now this will push them all the way back to midfield. Set up 1st down and 20. Trying to stay a little bit more disciplined here as this game goes on. Milford needing to walk away from this field with a victory. Now a deep drop for Perez, now dumps it off to Luke Rosa, who has plenty of room to go, still on his feet as he makes his way all the way down to the Stoughton 25.
With a big run.
That's a huge gain for Rosa, who has been a different player these last couple of weeks. Again, nearly tallied 100 yards on the ground last week. Scored the first and last touchdowns of the night for Milford, on a night that they scored 42 for the 2nd straight week.
And the Black Knights will call it timeout.
And after that big gain brings Milford to the Black Knights 25. Stoughton wants to talk things over. They call for the timeout. We mentioned it, Colby Perez now leads the Hockomock League coming into week 7 with 12 touchdown passes. Nick Gordon of Franklin is 2nd on the list with 9. Then it is Johnny Hagan of Canton and Robbie Jarrist of King Philip, each with 8. Will we see a touchdown pass out of Perez on this possession? He goes right back to Luke Rosa on the ground. And this time it's a gain of about 2.
With the tackle. He gets 2.
Coming down to 9 minutes left to go in this first half. And a late start here at Stonehill. This game did not get underway until 7:30. The Stonehill Skyhawks football team was out here practicing when we first arrived at the facility earlier this evening. But underway here in this big Davenport Division rivalry here on 2nd down. The pass goes to Lahane, looking for the end zone. Flags fly in as Lahane is in for the score, but will it stand? We'll check on the laundry first. And now another flag comes in at the end of the play. Will it be a 25-yard touchdown for Lahane? The officials talking it over. 2 flags to figure out on the field. And by the look of Milford, this looks like it's going to go against the Scarlet Hawks. And indeed it does. Both flags going against the Scarlet Hawks. And so that wipes a 25-yard touchdown off the board.
Holding, and the second would be unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll take it from the 20.
So a hold and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And so that's about a half a dozen flags now on the Scarlet Hawks here in this first half. Coach Vazakis cannot be happy. And so from a would-be touchdown to now facing a 2nd down and 23 from all the way back to the Stoughton 39-yard line. And so right now Milford looking to regroup, the coaching staff looking to keep everybody calm out there after the frustration of seeing that touchdown wiped out by not one but 2 flags.
And here we go. Milford's going to pick it up here.
So 2nd down and 23. White and Feaster on the near side. Perez looks for Feaster, has the completion at the 35. Feaster now moving in the wrong direction as eventually reinforcements come in for the Black Knights. He's brought down.
Perez connects with Feaster.
Able to advance the football to the 35-yard line.
35, trying to get through some defensemen.
So only about a 4-yard gain on the catch for Chappelle Feaster. So 3rd down and 20 with 7.5 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. An empty backfield now for Perez. And he steps right up through the rush, will run this football himself. He's able to take it down close to the original line of scrimmage, but
25-yard line.
Still a long way to go for the 1st down, however.
11. I'll bring out the special.
A big chunk of yards for the quarterback. And now it looks like we will see the field goal try. Coach Vazakis not wanting to continue to leave points out there.
Goal here. You don't see this too often at the high school level. It's Sean Lahane's lining up.
42-yard attempt for Sean Lahane. Ready to go now. Lahane trying to drill his first field goal of the season from 42 yards out, and the kick is blocked. Stoughton getting quick penetration in the backfield, and now they'll pick it up. And Ryan Pearl able to get back to make the stop. But Sean Lahane suffers another blocked field goal attempt, and that takes us back, of course, to what we witnessed in Milford's game against Canton all the way back on week 3. Lahane had, I believe, 3 field goal attempts blocked in that game, including one that
Black Knights picking it up here on the Hawks.
had 1 field goal attempt in that game that would have rewrote the record books in the state, that fell short by just a whisker. Then ended up having a couple of subsequent attempts blocked later on in the game, and now suffers the frustration again of having this kick blocked. And meanwhile now Stoughton able to start this possession from down around the Milford 30. And so we talked about it a bit in the open. There has been very little success in this rivalry on the Milford side in recent seasons, and you just have to wonder if that is creeping into the minds of these Scarlet Hawks players a little bit as this first half goes along. So many chances for Milford to take the lead in this game or put points on the board. This could very easily be anywhere from a 7 to 14-point lead for the Scarlet Hawks, at least with the kind of opportunities they've had so far tonight, but they have not been able to break through, and now all of a sudden Stoughton with their best field position of the night. And that rushing play will take them down to the Milford 26,
Jeff Greer there,
where it will be 3rd down. 3rd down and 7.
He was looking for it, but he gets 3.
So quickly a 3rd down. The defense for the Hawks trying to hold strong here. Just over 5 minutes to go until halftime. Man in motion, they fake the handoff. Burke looking to throw, has a man wide open. The pass is complete, and still on his feet, tiptoeing down the sidelines and in for the touchdown. That is Alex Iverson. And Iverson able to get the 20-plus yard touchdown pass. Doing a lot of the work on his own, nearly brought down, nearly stepped out of bounds, but was able to keep his feet and take that one for the first score of the game. A 6-0 game now with the point after coming up by Josh Kochi. And he's able to bring that through for the extra point, and with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go, it is the Stoughton Black Knights, after getting the blocked field goal, deflecting the ball deep into Milford territory. They were able to start field position from the Milford 30, and Alex Iverson able to give Stoughton the lead 7-0. We'll be back with more in a moment here on Milford TV. Frustration has been the name of the game for Milford so far in this first half, as the ensuing kickoff, Stoughton trying to catch Milford by surprise. That was a line drive kick that glanced right off the front row there of the Milford special teams, but Milford able to fall on it, so they will end up having starting field position at the 48-yard line. So bizarre kick for Stoughton. Perhaps a sort of onside kick attempt there. Again, they did get the deflection directly off the Milford player, but the Hawks able to keep possession, and now they will start from the 47. And again, Perez will look to lead this team down the field. Looked for a moment as if they had taken the opening score of the game on their last drive, but it was wiped out by penalties, and then ended up coming down to a 42-yard field goal try for Lahane that was blocked. And Stoughton able to capitalize. And it's been those kind of breaks that Stoughton just seems to always get in these matchups. So Milford needing to keep cool and try to get into the end zone here before the half. Milford will have the ball out of the break, hoping to at least be able to tie the score. We've seen them put up bulk points at the ends of first halves in each of the last couple of weeks, as Perez's throw is short. Reeled in on a bounce by Lahane.
Pass a little short there. Bring it back, and it's 3rd and 7 for the Hawks.
Everyone just looking a little uncomfortable for Milford as this first half has gone along. So quickly 3rd down and 7. Milford doing a lot of no huddle in the game last week against Foxborough, really wearing out that defense, but it's been a little bit more of a methodical approach here in the first half tonight. Here's Perez now with some time in the pocket, now forced out and in some big time trouble, as he is going to be wrapped up and brought down by Christopher Ace for the sack. And Perez a little slow to get up.
Not finding it open.
Perez had some time to look downfield, but good coverage in the secondary for the Black Knights, and eventually Ace was able to get to him, and now we'll see another Lahane punt with 3:30 to go in the second quarter.
At the punt team.
And the kick away for Lahane, it drifts towards the far sideline and out.
Sean Lahane's got a boot. Sends about 60 yards, and the Black Knights will pick it up here.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Stoughton now from their own 29-yard line.
29-yard line.
3 minutes and 11 seconds to go, and right back out on offense. There's going to be a lot for Coach Vizakis and Coach Olson, for that matter, to talk about with this team at the half.
1st and 10.
And meanwhile, timeout called for.
Black Knights will call a timeout here
By the Stoughton Black Knights with 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the second quarter. It is Stoughton 7 and Milford nothing here on coverage of Milford High School Athletics on Milford TV. The Stoughton offense retakes the field, 1st and 10 from their own 29. Burke looking for a quick strike down the field with a couple of defenders and was nearly able to make the grab. That was a Jean Roux.
After the timeout.
Ryan Pearl able to stick with him. Carter Scudo also back there in pass coverage.
So they're going to walk it back. And it'll be 2nd and 10 here from their own 29.
2nd down and 10. Christopher Ace heads to the sidelines for Stoughton. Ace with that big sack of Colby Perez on the last Milford offensive possession. 2nd down and 10 now. Milford bringing some pressure as the rushing play goes up the middle by Jeff Greer.
Bring it up to the 33.
Looks like they'll give him a gain of about 4 yards. As now Milford will call timeout.
3rd and 7.
We start to look at how things are shaping up heading into the playoff seedings, which will be figured out by early next week. In the Davenport division, the Canton Bulldogs continuing to have a remarkable season. They are playoff bound, a perfect 6-0 on the year, a perfect 4-0 in league play. They have scored the most points in the Davenport division. They have allowed the fewest points in not only the Davenport, but also in the entire Hockomock League. So they will be a tough team to deal with in the playoffs. North Attleboro at 4-2 on the year in 2nd place in the division. Coming off of that loss to Stoughton last week, then it is Milford and Stoughton tied for 3rd. As we come back to action here on 3rd down. Stoughton able to bully their way towards the 35-yard line, shy of the 1st down, and then a quick timeout called for by Coach Vizakis, stopping the clock with 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go. Coach Vizakis hoping to get his team the ball back before the half. 4th down and 4 from their own 35 for the Black Knights. And again, Chappelle Feaster lined up deep. He stands at his own 30-yard line, awaiting the kick from Josh Kochi. The kick will come to a stop eventually at the Milford 32. So they have not given Feaster a chance to return a kick so far tonight.
36.
Milford will have the ball back from their own 36-yard line with 2 minutes and 31 seconds to go. Another chance, perhaps, for Milford to tie the score.
To start the 1st, so they'll be getting the football to start off the 2nd half.
And Milford now ready to come back out on the field. They've scored 84 points in the last 2 weeks, but held off the board so far in this one. Can they put in a late score before we reach the half? And that is a live ball, at least That is what Stoughton thought. Perez calling for a timeout.
They did catch the timeout there before
they didn't whistle to stop play immediately. And so Stoughton came rushing into the backfield. That forced Perez to race back to fall on the ball, and it looked like he was a little ginger getting up afterwards. Looks like he might have landed awkwardly on the football. So we'll see if that affects Perez at all, as now the two teams huddle it up with the timeout called with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go. We will take the timeout as well. Back with more in just a moment here on Milford TV. So after an adventurous timeout call, Milford ready to resume here. 1st and 10. And Perez with some time over the middle, looking for Hugo Lopes, and the pass is complete.
Connects with
a big gain for Lopes. And Milford hustles to the line now. The ball spotted down at the Stoughton 39. Milford in business now.
A flag there.
And meanwhile, movement on the line for the Scarlet Hawks. And so they suffer another penalty here late in the half.
False start on the offense.
Just continuing to shoot themselves in the foot.
1st and 15. On the 44.
So this pushes Milford back just inside the Stoughton 45. So it'll be 1st down and 15, as Milford wanted to go up tempo there, rushing to the line to take another snap, but that offensive line did not get settled. Now ready to go, 1st and 15. Quick handoff goes to Luke Rosa, who tries to keep the legs churning, but they will eventually whistle him down at the 41. That is where they say the forward progress stopped.
Christopher Asen on the defensive play for the Black Knights. It's going to be 2nd and 12.
So another timeout called by Milford with now just under 90 seconds to go in the half. So Milford able to get an immediate boost with the big chunk yardage on the pass play up the seam to Hugo Lopes, who has been a big factor in the passing game. And Milford's offense has continued to evolve as the season has gone on. Coach Vazakis telling me last week he really envisioned this team as a running first team when the season started, but just seeing the continued development of Colby Perez and a lot of the receiving targets that have continued to get more comfortable as the season has gone on, he has sort of turned the keys over to Perez and the passing attack, which has yielded a lot of positive results here. The pass a little offline, but Lehane able to make the grab. He gets in front of the defense, and he is going to go in for the touchdown, or do they mark him just shy? They are going to mark him down at the 1 yard line. Almost a 35-yard touchdown, and again, Milford is brought up just short, but they will have 1st down and goal from the 1.
Brought down there on the 1 yard line.
So a touchdown saving tackle, at least for the moment, for the Black Knights. Milford quickly settles on the line, and the pass will go to a wide open Chappelle Feaster for the touchdown. They fake the handoff to Rosa, and the quick pass to Feaster, and finally Milford is on the board, and they are an extra point away from tying this game up.
Feaster, and that's a touchdown.
So Lahane lines up for the point after.
Lahane lining up for the extra point attempt.
Here's the snap, the hold by Pearl, and the extra point attempt is blocked. So Stoughton blocking a field goal earlier, and now they block the extra point, and that will allow Stoughton to hang on to the lead. It is now 7-6. Stoughton has gotten such quick penetration into the backfield on these kicks tonight. Just nothing Sean Lahane can do. So the good news for Milford is they are able to get on the board, but still trailing now by a point with 1 minute and 1 second to go. And quickly the kicking unit out onto the field for the Scarlet Hawks. And Stoughton back out there as well, as Jeff Greer will line up deep to receive the kick from Lahane.
Just a note, ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate your cooperation, assistance, and respect. As spectators in the stands, we appreciate you keeping all of your comments positive and displaying
Lahane now
from both sides.
Set to go. And he will send this kick deep. And again, from about a yard into the end zone, Greer will take it out. Able to make a couple of defenders miss, and now will push the pile forward all the way across the 25-yard line. Greer very tough to bring down.
Caught it in the end zone. Ran it up 20 yards.
And so they'll mark him down at the 29. So that was about 30 yards worth of kick return for Greer.
I'll bring him up to the 29.
And about the last 10 yards of that, just pushing the pile of Milford defenders. And so Stoughton has 51 seconds. We'll see what they can do. They hand it off up the middle, a lot of space for Green Hightower.
Malachi Green Hightower. Tripped up there by Carter Scudo.
Scudo ends up making the tackle, but it's a gain of 9.
Shy of the first down. 2nd and 1.
2nd down and 1 for the Black Knights now with 42 seconds to go.
42 seconds on the clock, and time is ticking here.
The clock continuing to roll now as Stoughton takes their time. Not a big sense of urgency here for the Black Knights as John Burke now relays the call. And now 23 seconds to go. That's a lot of time taken up by Stoughton as now they hand it off to Greer. Greer able to get away from initial contact, and now Milford brings him down.
Jeff Greer there trying to find a way through.
Brendan White in on that tackle. And it looks like
spotted at the 40, but the chains aren't moving. It should be a first down.
Yeah, it should be a first down. The chains are not moving. Now finally the referee signal as the final 3 seconds are going to tick down, so that will be that.
And your homecoming court.
And so Stoughton content to allow those final seconds to tick down. They had a little time to work with there, but again, just not a big sense of urgency there for the Black Knights. Content to head into halftime with the 7-6 lead, so Milford able to get on the board there late, but a blocked field goal attempt by Sean Lahane, a blocked extra point as well. And that sends us into the half with the score Stoughton 7 and Milford 6. We'll have a bit of an extended halftime here as they will do some homecoming festivities here on the Stoughton side. So we will step away. We will have third quarter action for you in just a little bit. Again, you are tuned into coverage of Milford High School football right here on Milford TV.
Home game of the regular season.
We welcome you back inside WB Mason Stadium here on the campus of Stonehill College. Milford TV bringing you now second half action between the Milford Scarlet Hawks and the home team here tonight, the Stoughton Black Knights. On the road for the first time in this 2018-19 fall season. And quickly resuming action now, getting this third quarter started. Milford receiving the second half kick. Sean Lehane reeling it in, and he's able to bring it across the 40-yard line to once again give Milford very good starting field position, and that's been pretty much the story of the night for Milford. They have had good field position virtually all night long.
And that's where Milford's going to
They have been frequently residing inside Stoughton territory, but a combination of a lot of penalties in the first half, some big drops, especially on fourth down. They had one touchdown wiped away due to penalties. They had a field goal blocked. That ended up setting up very good field position for Stoughton on the drive in which they scored their only touchdown of the first half. Milford was able to put one in the end zone late on a 1-yard touchdown reception by Chappelle Feaster, but then the point after was blocked. And that brings us to where we are now, a 7-6 Stoughton lead as Milford gets this third quarter started, and the pass nearly intercepted, and that was read very well by Stoughton. The pass was intended for Hugo Lopes, but Anthony Pisano was there nearly jumping the route for the pick, but fortunately for Milford, that ball landed incomplete. Chappelle Feaster had an interception on the very first Stoughton drive of the game. And Feaster will now get the ball in his hands on second down, racing to the far sideline across the 50-yard line, now across the 45 before finally making his way out of bounds.
First down carry. Feaster will bring the Hawks up to the Black Knights 45-yard line.
So a big gain for Feaster. Seen a couple of chunk yard plays on the ground. One by Luke Rosa in the first half that ended up playing a part in the touchdown drive. Now they'll put it right back in Feaster's hands. A stiff arm for Feaster. Now a spin move as he makes his way down close to the first down line. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy. So we didn't see a whole lot of Feaster in the first half until the touchdown grab late in the second quarter. But two good running plays. And now it's second down and 1 for the Hawks from the Stoughton 36.
Second and inches here for the Hawks.
White and Feaster to the near side. Lehane and Lopes to the far side. Luke Rosa in the backfield. And it will be Rosa who gets the handoff. He will get the first down.
Lucas Rosa there with a carry.
And they'll mark him down just outside the Stoughton 30.
The 31.
And now they'll spot the football right on the 31-yard line, where it will be first down and 10. Milford moving the ball well here on their first possession of the second half. Had an extended halftime, a long time to wait. It's about a 20-minute wait to start this third quarter, but Milford looking good so far. Perez now in trouble, though. The ball comes out, and fortunately, Luke Rosa there to fall on it.
Black Knights sacking Perez.
Alex Iverson
was down
with the sack.
Down, no fumble.
So it looks like they ruled Perez down by contact before the ball came free. But Luke Rosa leaving nothing to chance. So I believe that's the second sack of the game now for Stoughton.
Second and 17 here for the Hawks.
And a big loss, second down and 17 now. At the line of scrimmage now at the Stoughton 38. Quick dump off pass is completed to Sean Lehane, who's going to be dragged down at about the 42.
Lehane, brought down by Malachi Green Hightower.
They'll award him, I beg your pardon, mark him down at the 36-yard line.
Third and 15.
Where it will be third down and 15 So promising drive.
3rd and 15 for the Hawks.
But Perez now in need to convert. 3rd down and very long, drops back to throw, running out of time, flushed out of the pocket to the far side of the field, able to get a pass away, but it's incomplete.
Perez under pressure.
Looking for Hugo Lopes.
For Lopes there, and the pass goes incomplete.
Perez
walk it back.
buying time. Had Lopes open at the end, but
17.
Hugo couldn't make the catch.
15.
And so
On to 36.
we'll see a punt here. Milford not
Christian Ace
chancing a long field goal.
in the backfield for the Knights. Sean Lehane ready for.
It would have been a 53-yard attempt from this distance for Lehane, and given the struggles they've had in the kicking game so far tonight,
Go out of bounds.
perhaps
15.
in a different circumstance, Coach Vizakis might try it and also be kicking against the wind on this side of the field. So Milford opts for the punt. The kick ends up squirting out of play right at the Stoughton 15.
It's about a right on the 15.
It's been some long fields for Stoughton tonight, some short fields for Milford, but neither side has been able to have success regardless of the field position outside of the lone scoring drives for each team. The only scoring drive for Stoughton, again, they were gifted a very short field after the field goal block. Burke looking to throw on 1st down, and he's able to complete it to Christopher Ace.
Connects with Christopher Ace.
And a quick 1st down completion.
And that's a 1st down.
Not a lot of pass attempts in the first half for
Gets it up to
the sophomore John Burke,
48-yard
listed
line.
at even 6 feet tall.
First and 10 for the Black Knights.
6:48 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Milford unable to cash in on the first drive of the 2nd half. Bit of a low snap, but now dumped off to Greer. And Greer able to make his way close to a 1st down.
The carry. Just short of the 1st down. Greer fights through
It'll be 2nd down and
to the 37. And it's going to be 2nd and 1.
just a yard to go. Clock continuing to roll now, down to 6 minutes left. It was
2nd and 1 for the Black.
fairly mild conditions when the game first started, but as the night has worn on, especially with the late start, the temperature has continued to go down, and you can feel it now. There's a real chill in the air as we are just after 9 o'clock in the evening.
Quite enough forward progress. That'll bring him up. Correction, 1st down. Did get it. Just over the line, that'll bring him up to the 38, and it's a 1st down for the Black Knights.
Just enough for the 1st down on that last play for the Black Knights. So 1st and 10 now from their own 42. Burke now again looks to throw, and the pass incomplete, targeting Christian Ace.
Got sacked there. Makes a pass looking for Christian Ace. Not quite enough, and the pass goes incomplete.
So 2nd and 10 coming up now for Stoughton. So
38-yard line, and it's going to be 2nd.
going to the air a little bit more frequently on this possession for Burke. This 2nd down and 10. Again, a little miscommunication between the chain gang down on the field and the scoreboard, but now everyone has it correct.
On their own 38.
Milford looking a little confused. Now they're able to get themselves set. And again, Burke looks to throw, hit as he throws. The pass is going to be complete. And And that was a Jean Roux who was able to get separation right at the end from Chappelle Feaster.
John Burke, the quarterback,
Burke
let's go.
Took a hard hit as he released that throw, but was still able to get enough muscle on it to deliver it on target to Jean Roux, who was able to do the rest, getting away from Chappelle Feaster. And now first down for Stoughton. They are in business at the Milford 34-yard line. And now up the middle, and Milford was ready.
Jeff Greer looking to run it up the middle there, but the Hawks defense catching up right around the line of scrimmage. Gain and maybe a loss of one, so that'll bring
a lot of time being taken on this possession
and 11
for the Black Knights. Clock now ticking under 4 minutes. On second down and 11, another handoff. This one goes to Malachi Green Hightower. Brought down at the Milford 31.
Green Hightower with a carry.
Where it will be third down.
I'll bring him up to the 31. That's 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, a big third down stand coming up now for the Scarlet Hawks defense. Again, they've done well tonight, all things considered. But giving up a couple of big plays in the passing game on this drive. And now Coach Coach Greg Burke
3 minutes play.
Wanting to talk things over with his offense, with Stoughton facing a 3rd down and 7.
Let's hear it for Coach Christine.
From the Milford 31-yard line. A 7-6 score. Stoughton with the football and the 1-point lead. So we'll take a quick pause in the action. More to come in a moment here on Milford TV. Here we go, 3rd down and 7. And a fake handoff. Now Burke will try to run with it himself, but Milford meets him right at the 30-yard line. They drop him down well shy of the first down. It'll be 4th down and 6. Make it 4th down and 7. And so we'll see what Coach Burke decides to do here from the 30.
4th and 6. Black Knights huddling up.
They will keep their offense on the field. Milford attempted a couple of 4th down conversions back in the first half. Now it is Stoughton. Here's Burke. He rolls out, buys himself some time. Now looking upfield, and the pass is picked off. It is Brendan White with the interception, and he is going to be wrestled down just shy of the 25-yard line. It's the 2nd pick thrown tonight by John Burke. Feaster with the interception in the first quarter, and now it is Brendan White with the interception. And so a gutsy play call by Stoughton as they elect to go for it on 4th down. But it does not pay off as Milford defense able to make the play. And so here is Perez and the offense now. First and 10 from their own 23, as Perez sticks it into the midsection of Luke Rosa, who gets stood up at the 25.
Rosa gets a couple of yards.
Just 90 seconds to go now in this third quarter. It's been a fast-moving period. Another low-scoring contest between these two teams for the second straight season.
The Milford Hawks on their own.
It was a 7-3 score between these two teams through 3 quarters last year. Now 7-6. Perez looks to pass, trying to find White over the middle, forced it into some tight coverage, and the pass is incomplete.
Perez looking for Brendan White.
Could see Perez was looking for White all the way.
Interrupting that pass, walk it back to the 25, and the Hawks are going to pick it up here.
So many big plays for this Milford offense last week against Foxborough. Had an 80-plus yard touchdown pass in that game from Perez to Hugo Lopes. Had a 60-plus yard touchdown. I believe it was a 74-yarder, 73-yarder for Sean Lehane. Now Perez looking for White along the near sideline. That ball ping-ponging around. It was up for grabs first for White and then for a couple of the Stoughton defenders, but it ends up falling incomplete.
Christian Ace playing D.
Looked like Perez didn't get quite as much on that throw as he would have liked. A good throw.
I'll bring out the punt team.
Would have done the job as White was open, but the pass was a little underthrown, and White did everything he could to try to haul it in. We'll see the Lehane punt here, and that one nearly blocked. Getting into the backfield was Ali Awad, as now that ball deflects and takes a Stoughton bounce. Ryan Hazard downing the football. Decent starting field position now for the Black Knights.
Christian Ace coming up on 2 big plays there on defense. Interrupting those passes.
They will start from their own 34.
Sight lines a little bit. 40 seconds here in the
So Milford winning the turnover battle here in this game 2-0, but neither turnover has resulted in points on the scoreboard. With 40 seconds to go in the third quarter, a running play on first down for the Black Knights. A flag comes in at the end of the play as Malachi Green Hightower runs it up the middle, but this looks like it will go against the Black Knights. Milford happy to see a call not go their way for a change.
Call goes against Stoughton there. Walk it back 10.
So that's going to push Stoughton back 10 yards. And so now
2nd and 20.
Facing second down
on the 24.
I beg your pardon, 1st down and 20. And now the ball coming loose. Brendan White looks to have it.
Fumble recovered.
And it is indeed a fumble recovered by Brendan White. The Scarlet Hawks will take over inside the Stoughton 20. The 3rd turnover of the game now by the Milford defense. And this one will set up shop inside the red zone for the Hawks.
Quite the turn of events here. The Hawks are going to have it on the Black Knights.
So turnovers on consecutive possessions.
A 1st down, 19 yards to the end zone, 20 seconds to play in the third quarter.
So Brendan White with the interception, then with the fumble recovery. White's been wreaking havoc on the defensive side of the ball. And so now 1st and 10 for the Hawks from the 19. They'll run it up the middle on 1st down.
The ball to
Chappelle Feaster getting the carry. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. Milford able to bring it down. It looks to be to about the 17-yard line. But that will be that here for the third quarter. So a couple of turnovers for the Milford defense. They are doing everything they can to will things in Milford's favor. We will head into the final 11 minutes of this game, still with just a 1-point differential on the scoreboard, 7-6 in favor of Stoughton. But Milford will have a second down play from inside the 20-yard line when we come back after this. Stay tuned to coverage of Milford High School football right here on Milford TV. Second down for the Scarlet Hawks from the 16-yard line, as Feaster will get the handoff, able to avoid the loss in the backfield. Brings it down close to the 15. Seen a bit of a flip of the script in terms of the offense for both of these teams. We've seen a lot more passing plays out of Stoughton so far here in the second half, and Milford has been doing a lot more on the ground. We've seen a lot more handoffs to Feaster and Rosa so far on these possessions in the second half for Milford, and now taking the timeout. Third down and 7 coming up for the Scarlet Hawks. Again, after the fumble recovery for Brendan White, they took over from the 19. Not able to get a lot accomplished on those first two plays. Just 10 minutes and 27 seconds left in this game. Milford needing a win to get themselves into the MIAA tournament. Stoughton, I believe, will be in win or lose, but they would certainly like the win to pad their seeding. Stoughton coming in at 3-3 overall on the year. Milford at 2-4. And now on third down and 7, Perez with the completion to Brendan White, looking for the end zone. He leaps in for the touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown catch for Brendan White, and this is going to give the Scarlet Hawks the lead. It is 12-7 with the point after coming up, which is not a definite on this night.
White gets it in, and Milford takes a 12-7 lead.
So a well-deserved touchdown for Brendan White after coming through with an interception and a fumble recovery. And it looks like instead we'll see the 2-point conversion attempt here by the offense.
Milford's going to line up and go for 2 here.
Perez from the shotgun lofts it towards the back corner of the end zone, out of the reach of Brendan White, so the 2-point try fails. And so that will keep the score at 12-7. Milford takes the lead with 10 minutes and 18 seconds left to go in this football game.
Milford 12.
And they will kick it away back to the Black Knights in just a moment here on Milford TV. Brendan White creates the turnover. He then finishes the job with the 16-yard touchdown grab as Sean Lahane blasts that ball into the end zone, and Stoughton lets it drop for the touchback. And it'll give Stoughton a chance to start this drive from the 25-yard line. The defense has played well throughout this game. And they've produced turnovers on each of the last 2 possessions for the Black Knights. Burke with a couple of running backs in the backfield. Pitches it back to Jeff Greer. Greer with the first down and more, racing out towards midfield and forced out of bounds. 20 yards on the ground immediately to bring Stoughton out to their own 45.
Got them right on the 45. The first down here. Black Knights picking it up on their own 45.
Brought down inbounds, so the clock continues to roll now. Under 10 minutes to go. Still a long way left in this fourth quarter. And a trio of backfield options for Burke. Gives it right back to Greer. Milford a chance to bring him down for a loss.
Greer looking for an opening. He gets a yard or two.
Tom Schofield able to get his hands on him briefly, but could not bring him down.
Hawks defense catching up with Greer on the
But ultimately brought down
it's going to be 2nd and 9
at the 46, so all of that just for a single yard gained for Greer. As we come down now to 9 minutes left to play. The same formation for Stoughton offensively. They fake the handoff to Greer. Now dump off the pass. Complete to Christopher Ace.
Connects with Christopher Ace.
A little unsure with the footing after he made the grab.
Hawks defense catching up pretty quick though.
Able to get out to the 49-yard line where it will be 3rd down.
3rd and 7. Third and 7 on the 49.
3rd down and 7 coming up for the Black Knights. Just shy of midfield. And Burke looking to throw, sends the deep ball down the field, and looks like we will see the pass interference call as 2 flags came in. It looked pretty clear that Chappelle Feaster had his hands all over the receiver. And this is going to be a tough call for Milford. It was the right call.
Chappelle Feaster there.
Feaster making too much contact.
So Feaster gets the call on illegal interference, and it's a 15-yard penalty.
And so they will walk off the penalty yardage now. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, so it is not a spot foul.
That'll bring the Knights up to the 36. And a first down.
So Stoughton looking to answer the Milford score. They now have 1st and 10 from the 35, and they will hand it off on 1st down.
Savion Scott with the carry.
Savion Scott getting into the Stoughton rushing attack. We've seen a lot of Greer. We've seen a lot of Alex Iverson. We've seen some of Malachi Green Hightower in the game.
They get a yard, and it's 2nd and 9.
Only able to get 1, so 2nd down and 9. 7.5 minutes left to go. Been about a 3-minute drive so far for Stoughton, as Burke fakes the handoff, rolls out, and completes the pass to Greer before Brendan White is immediately able to bring him down.
Brought down by Brendan.
To be a little extracurricular activity going on behind the play between Chappelle Feaster and a member of the Black Knights. No flags come in. The clock's still moving, 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
3rd and 6 for the Black Knights.
Now a 3rd down and 6 play for the Knights. And another passing play for Burke, and completes it to Greer, who gets around a defender. 2 flags come in as Greer ends up in the end zone on what right now would be about a 33-yard touchdown play for Stoughton, but this is going to be brought back. The penalty going against Stoughton. And word not quite trickling into the student section of Stoughton just yet. They put the points on the scoreboard, but no touchdown for Stoughton. Instead, the ball brought back
Block in the back by the
after an illegal block goes against Stoughton.
10-yard penalty from the spot, and that'll bring him to the 27. And it's 3rd and 1. No score.
So now everything adjusted on the scoreboard.
Third and 1 for the Black Knights.
It's a 3rd down and 1 now for Stoughton. The fans staying loud. It's about as loud as they've been all night for the home team. As Burke hands it off to Greer. Greer has the first down
Greer gets through for the first down
before getting tripped up by Brendan White. So both teams now have had touchdowns wiped out
a little closer.
due to penalties.
6 minutes to play here in the
It's
game.
1st and 10 now for Stoughton from the 20. And this next snap will come on the other side of 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. So coming down to the wire, Milford taking the lead, but Stoughton
on the 20.
trying to answer back. Been eating up a lot of clock. Burke will throw, again rolling to his right. Again, that short dump off pass to Greer.
Connects with Jeff Greer.
Ryan Pearl able to trip him up.
Number 11, Ryan Pearl.
And Greer now
tripping him up.
Shaken up as he rolls out of bounds right around the 12-yard line and is in some pain.
And Milford will call a timeout.
Timeout is called on the field as the training staff attends to the star senior running back, Jeff Greer, who nearly had a touchdown just a moment ago. It'll be a 2nd down play for the Black Knights on the other side of this timeout. We will take the timeout as well here on our coverage of Milford High School football on Milford TV. Set to resume play out of the timeout. Greer continues to be worked on the sidelines by the training staff, so not out on the field for this 2nd down and 2 play. Now able to get back to his feet.
2nd and 2 for the Black Knights on the 12-yard line.
Ball spotted on the Milford 12. And Burke hands it off, and room on the far side for number 21, Christopher Ace, and no flags on the field this time as Ace is able to come through with a 12-yard touchdown run that will put the Black Knights back in front. It is 13-12 right now.
To the far side into the end zone, and the Black Knights take a 13-12 lead here.
So without their top running back option on the field, Christopher Ace able to put it in the end zone.
Like they're gonna go
And it looks like Stoughton will now go for 2 to try to establish a 3-point lead. And Burke will look to throw it. He rolls out, and the attempt is good. The catch was hauled in by Malachi Green Hightower, so a successful 2-point try brings the score to 15-12 in favor of Stoughton. So the lead seesaws back and forth here in the 4th quarter. Milford will get the football back with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go, now down by 3. You don't want to go anywhere now. Stay tuned to coverage of Milford High School athletics here on Milford TV. Stoughton set to kick away. Line drive kick will roll past Sean Lehane. He lets it roll out of bounds for the penalty.
Plenty of football left to play here tonight.
Sean Lehane with about a 60-yard return on the opening kickoff of the game last week against Foxborough. Really proved to be the first of a ton of big plays for the offense. Again, we've talked about it a couple of times in the broadcast. Milford coming off of back-to-back 42-point performances against Sharon and Foxborough, but it has been a different kind of game here tonight. Despite having some opportunities, points have been at a premium on both sides. Each team coming through with scores here in the fourth quarter, so Stoughton now with a 3-point advantage, up 15-12. This is the kind of game that Stoughton has played more often than not this season.
We'll walk it back 5 yards here.
Meanwhile, after the penalty, Milford electing for the re-kick. Last week, Stoughton coming up with a win against North Attleboro, 21-10. Prior to that, a 14-7 loss to Canton. Another line drive kick, and this one will take a bounce, and again, will drift out of bounds. So the Knights right now struggling to keep the kick on the playing fields. And they will once again force Stoughton to re-kick, pushing them back another 5 yards. So now the kickoff will come from the 30.
Josh Coachy lining up here on the 30-yard line for his third kickoff attempt.
So again, Josh Coachy ready, and this will flutter out to the 25-yard line, returnable for Lehane. Spins off a couple of hits and now brought down at the 36.
The football right around the 25-yard line.
So that is where the Hawks will begin with 5 minutes and 8 seconds to go.
So with just over 5 minutes to play, going to pick it up on their own 36.
And they will talk things over with head coach Anthony Vazakis. Crunch time now for the Scarlet Hawks, needing a win here at WB Mason Stadium here at Stonehill College. It's been a physical game, a tough game. Milford has not been at their best, but they have an opportunity here.
For the Hawks.
Down by just 3 with still plenty of time left on the clock. Here we go on first down. They will give it to Luke Rosa. A nice play up the middle for Luke, who will bring it all the way to midfield.
That'll be a first down. Lucas Rosa there with a carry.
About 14 yards on the ground on that play for Rosa. And meanwhile, another Stoughton player shaken up at the end of the play. It looks to be Christian Georges. And they will have to bring the training staff out, so we will step aside for the injury timeout. 4:59 left to go. It'll be 1st and 10 for Milford, just inside Stoughton territory when we come back next here on Milford TV. Georges able to walk off the field under his own power, so ready to continue now with the ball right at the 50. 1st and 10 for the Hawks. And right back into the hands of Rosa, who now tries to bounce to the near sideline, but he is dragged down after a gain of just 1. 4.5 minutes left to play.
They get a yard. Ace brings him down on the 49.
Essentially a playoff game for the Scarlet Hawks tonight. The MIAA tournament will start for real next week. Will Milford be a part of it? Taking their time. They'll take this snap with just under 4 minutes left to play. 2nd down and 9. And Perez will look to throw. He'll air it out down the far sideline. Has Feaster wide open for the catch. And he bounces out of bounds.
First down pass and a Hail Mary
at the 23-yard line.
Chappelle Feaster.
And make it the 22.
Bring him up to the 22, which is well within range for Sean Lehane. Remember, Sean Lehane made
right around a
goal attempt earlier in the game.
30-yard gain there on the catch by Feaster. 3.5 minutes to go, so now Milford thinking about clock management, but meanwhile, Luke Rosa slices right up the middle. He will be brought down at the 6-yard line. Another big play on the ground for Rosa. He has come up huge for the second straight week.
A first and goal on the 6.
But if you're Milford, you have to start thinking about some clock management yourself. You obviously want to score here to retake the lead. But you want to try to bleed a little bit more of this clock down. Still 3 minutes left to go. Milford will do just that here, taking their time as they huddle up. It'll be first and goal from the 6.
First and goal on the 6.
Perez has Feaster to his right. And now timeout is called for by head coach Anthony Bazakis, so that will stop the clock with 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go. It has been a grind of a game here tonight on the campus of Stonehill College. Milford trailed 7-0. They were able to get a touchdown late in the first half, but a blocked extra point kept the lead in Stoughton's favor into halftime. After a couple of Milford defensive turnovers, Brendan White was able to catch a touchdown pass that put Milford on top. They could not convert with a 2-point try. And then Stoughton answered by going the length of the field before Christopher Ace was able to run it into the end zone from 12 yards out. Stoughton then converted their 2-point attempt to give them a 15-12 lead. But Milford right now knocking on the door. First and goal from the 6, now back out of the timeout.
First and goal on the 6. The Milford Hawks trying to score.
The Stoughton fans try to raise their voices in support of their defense. And they hand it off to Rosa on first down. He's able to get down to the 1, trying to fight across the goal line. Does he make it? It looks like he will be short. They'll mark him down at the 1 as the clock still rolls under 2.5 minutes.
Second and goal on the 1.
And Stoughton forced to call the timeout, stopping the clock with 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go. And so Stoughton doing everything they can to preserve the clock now. It stopped at 2 minutes and 24 seconds. We will take the timeout as well. An exciting conclusion on hand here on the campus of Stonehill College. We'll see more just after this here on Milford TV. Second and goal for Milford from the 1-yard line, and out of the timeout it'll be Ryan Pearl and the War Package trying to force it in on the quarterback sneak. Does Pearl break the plane? A flag comes in at the end of the play. It does not look like Pearl was able to cross into the end zone.
He got in and there's a flag on the play.
And the personal foul called against the Black Knights.
Penalty against Stoughton. Half the distance.
And so this will go half the distance to the goal. So this will put Milford on about the 2-inch line. And it will be first and goal yet again. And they'll restart the clock. Milford will let it roll now down under 2 minutes to go.
And that'll be a first down.
Ryan Pearl back out there.
First and goal with inches.
Milford just inches away from retaking the lead. Pearl checks the defense, now ready to go. And able to lower the head and looks to be in this time. And there is the signal, a touchdown for the Scarlet Hawks. Ryan Pearl runs it in from 1 yard out, and this will put Milford back on top. It is now 18-15. And what will we see? Will we see the point after attempt? It looks like Sean Lehane will make his way out onto the field, so we'll see if they can tack on the point after to give themselves a 4-point lead. Once again, it will be Pearl serving as the holder. Again, we saw the block on the point after attempt back in the first half. Here's the snap, the kick away, and it hits off the upright, and it is no good.
That is no good.
You could see Milford rushing the play, and Sean Lehane sends it off the left upright, and it will stay just a 3-point differential with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. So many clutch kicks over the years for Sean Lehane, but he's had some frustration in both field goal attempts and point after attempts throughout this season. And so 18-15.
1 minute and 40 seconds to play. The Milford Hawks take a three-point lead.
So Stoughton
15.
with a chance to tie it with a field goal if they can get into field goal range with 1 minute 40 to go. Lehane will try to pin them deep. Jeff Greer back out onto the field and set up to return this kick that's blasted deep into the end zone. Greer's going to take it out. And he's able to break free of one tackle and now wrestle down at the 29. Boy, did Greer take a chance there as he was about 6 or 7 yards deep in the end zone. And instead of taking the touchback, he made the decision to run it out. He was able to get away from one tackle. I believe it was Scudo who nearly had him wrapped up, but eventually brought down at the 29. So with 94 seconds to go, Stoughton will start from their own 29-yard line. Their quarterback, John Burke, the sophomore, from the shotgun. A low snap, and he hands it off immediately to Alex Iverson. And Iverson's able to just get across the 30-yard line before he's brought down. And the clock still moving.
Gets 2, and it's 2nd and 8.
Down to 1 minute 15 to go. Stoughton taking a lot of time here as the clock still rolls. 1 minute 9 seconds left. As Burke now hesitates, and he has to throw this one away. And the clock now stopped with 59 seconds to go. A flag does come in.
Flag on the play.
And so what's the call? It looks like it may go against Milford. No, instead it goes against Stoughton.
Ball goes against Stoughton, and they're going to walk it back.
So the Black Knights in disarray on that last play. It took them forever to get to the line.
13 for the Knights.
Wasted a good 15 to 20 seconds. And then Burke ultimately forced to throw it away. So now they'll have 2nd down and 13 with 59 seconds left. Back again at the 29 as Burke now rolls to his left. Starts, stops, then dumps it off. The pass complete to Greer.
Out to Jeff Greer, who
Had to check it down.
Clock stops at 54 seconds.
Good coverage in the secondary for Milford. And it will now be 3rd down. Greer able to advance the ball to the Stoughton 33. Or it will be 3rd down and 6.
7 for the Knights on their own 33-yard line. 54 seconds to play.
Burke once again in the shotgun. Has Greer to his right. Drops back. Now unloads down the near sideline. The ball up for grabs, still fighting for it. Milford ends up with it. It's in the hands of Feaster, who now returns it up the far sideline, and he is forced out of bounds at about the 27. And that is your dagger. That was a 50-50 ball, and Chappelle Feaster just refused to yield, finally wrestled it free. And Milford with their 4th turnover of the game. Chappelle Feaster with his 2nd interception. And this should put the finishing touches on the game for the Scarlet Hawks with 38 seconds left.
27-yard line with 38 seconds to play.
Feaster going up one-on-one with the receiver. Ends up winning the battle. And then a huge run back on top of it.
Well, if you're starting to make your way out, folks, please remember to pick up your trash on your way out.
And so Milford now in victory formation out on the field with Ryan Pearl.
Back, so I appreciate your help with that.
Just a little bit of business left to attend to as Pearl takes the knee.
Wind the clock down.
And the clock continues to roll. What a battle it was here tonight. Not a pretty one by any means for the Scarlet Hawks, leaving a lot of opportunities out there on the field, especially early. A lot of penalties. But when push came to shove here in the 4th quarter, Milford able to come away with 3 second-half turnovers. They were able to put the ball in the end zone twice here in the 4th quarter, as now the final 5 seconds will tick down. And that is your football game. The Scarlet Hawks now with a 3-game winning streak, and they break a long string of bad luck against this Stoughton team as they win here tonight by a final score of 18-15. So Milford will improve to 3-4 now on the season and will likely find themselves in the MIAA tournament come a week from tonight. We will find out all of the final details on Milford's playoff seeding and where they are heading in the days to come. But for now, Milford will relish in a hard-fought victory here tonight against the Stoughton Black Knights, and that will wrap up our coverage here on the road. And a huge thank you to our Milford TV crew on hand, our director Mike Sperling, and our camera operators Derek Birchtold and Caitlin Mobilia. And I am Tim Coette. That final score one final time, 18-15. Milford is able to defeat the Stoughton Black Knights. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.